Hi everyone and welcome back to FIGHTZONE. Today I want to talk to you about Ino, a rushdown character that plays a little bit differently from the others. She focuses on mix-ups and okizemi, and once she corners her opponents, she can literally dominate the entire round through an insane amount of pressure and damage at the corner. But be forewarned, she's a little bit tricky to move around at first, so you'll need to get used to her first before trying any match. I'm Sultry and this is FIGHTZONE.
Look yourself in the eye. Beat the sun and die for heartbeat in you.
Ino is an odd character. She doesn't have a strong ground game, and because of that she needs to approach her adversary from above, where her normals are strong but where she also runs the risk of getting countered from random anti-airs. That is due to her way of moving around. Instead of running, Ino flies around the screen by holding the forward button. She can also go straight up by holding down and forward simultaneously. This movement allows to access a scary amount of mix-ups, but at the same time puts Ino at risk, so the best option is to make small dashes. It also allows her to cancel the recovery on many normals into the flight itself, although this doesn't necessarily mean that you can keep pressuring the opponent without any risk. Lastly, you can use the air dash right after the flight. This little trick will come in handy while the opponent is at the corner for a late mix-up option. Ino doesn't have useful long-range normals. At mid-range she can use 5K, 2S, far slash and jump engage, but for the most part she prefers to either stall the opponent with music note or knock him down with chemical lob. Up close it's a total different story. 5P and 2P are good for spacing, and jumping P can carry the opponent to the ground while in the air. 2K plus jumping K and jumping S are Ino's main confirmers on close range for both combos and mix-ups. K in particular stays active for a long time, and with the fly dash you can create an almost instant overhead if timed correctly with other short normals. Close slash is useful as an anti-air, but it's also one of Ino's main attacks on the ground and can be jump cancelled on block for added pressure and mix-up potential. Jumping D is an additional attack to use in your string after a jump cancel on block. It's an almost instant overhead, and on confirm, it can be converted into a combo. Also, there's a little trick behind this normal, but we'll talk about it later. 6P, 5S, and 5H are your main combo starters after the first 3 hits we just mentioned, and they put the enemy at the right height for big damage. 6H finally works as a pushback maneuver, an ender for combos in conjunction with chemical lob, and works as an anti-air, although I wouldn't recommend it as your first choice in that matter since you can use other normals or special instead. Now before we go on, we need to talk about Kara cancels. Those are specific cancels that are unique to certain characters such as Fuzz, Chip, and Ino as well. Her cancel is used by using jumping D first and then using faultless defense right after. And for this reason, it's also called faultless defense cancel, or FDC for short. This would cause her to stop her motion mid-air and land on the ground quite fast, a good trick to create a high-low mix-up. It can also be used after a jump cancel on block to make her slightly more unpredictable, but don't worry if you can't use it at first. It's not an imperative tool, but it can provide more option on the long run. Ino's main problem is to enter the enemy's guard. Against uncareful opponents, this won't be a problem, but in case of bad matchups and more careful foes, you'll need to use all the special at your disposal. Unfortunately, Ino's special arsenal is not that big. Antidepressant Scale, aka Music Note, it's a unique kind of projectile. It starts slow but then accelerates and generates more hits the more it travels. This makes it the best option for okizemi and pressure in general, and the YRC provides even more option, especially for making certain strings more safe. Lastly, it can be controlled by pressing up or down during the initial portion of the move. Chemical Lob and Vertical Chemical Lob are 2 long-range projectiles that either extend your combos or conclude most of them. The horizontal one is the one that you're gonna use the most. It has long range and can be converted into the vertical version for a knockdown. If used with the YRC, it can be used to cover your approach since it leaves Ino in the air, ready for an air dash. Be careful though, as it doesn't hit running or crouching opponents. The vertical one is more situational. Mid-screen, it can be used as an anti-air and for beating low attacks, but its best application is near the corner where it becomes a combo extender. Stroke the Big Tree is a low attack with 2 set distances. The short version staggers the opponent on confirm, and on counter the effect is increased. After this, it's better to knock down the opponent with a combination of 2S and chemical lob. The long version launches the opponent in the air, and with the red RC you can convert it into a short combo while mid-screen. With the latest patch, however, It now causes a wall stick at the corner, and on counter it launches higher and increases the effect of the wall stick. With the YRC, it becomes a good way of moving around, dodge projectiles, and at the same time get ready for a high-low mix-up or even a throw on close range. Sterilization method is an anti-air comment throw. It's perfect for reset options and to stop predictable opponents. On confirm, it always leads to a combo, and if you are near the corner, you can even start most of Ino's air combos. Just beware that on whiff, Ino will be wide open. Sultry Performance is a multi-use special that, depending on the button, changes its effects. Each version has its own purposes, and all of them can be held for a while to delay the attack. Also, all of them are overhead attacks. The P version makes Ino bounce on the opponent. It's one of the best combo extenders on the corner. You can also use it multiple times, but the second one will bounce Ino further away from the opponent. After the first bounce, you can either use another version of Sultry Performance or go for an air dash right after. The only catch of this move is its angle. Unless you're right on top of the opponent, you're gonna miss. The S version is your main way to extend corner combos, and most of the time you'll use it after the P version. It causes a wall bounce that can be followed with close lash or 5P and close lash. Unlike the P version, however, this one is unsafe on blocks, so be ready to use either the YRC or the Red RC. The K version, it's a combo ender. It's the fastest version, but like the S version, it's unsafe on block. It knocks down the opponent. If you're not predictable with it, you can also use it for a surprise attack while you're far away from the opponent. With the YRC, it can become an escape tool when you're cornered. The H version is the most useless. It's an attack that I nicknamed Ino's Crusher. Why? Because it's the Psycho Crusher minus Baizo's Aura. The only use that I can find for this one is to get away from the corner, but aside from that, it's kinda pointless. As you may have noticed, Ino doesn't possess many ways to defend herself. Lucky for her, she possesses one of the best set of overdrives in the game, and they're one of the most damaging and safe moves as well. Longing Desperation is the one you're gonna use the most. It's a fast advantage on block, short range attack that is perfect as a reversal, and can also be used in combos for some extra damage, especially after a well landed 6P near the corner. Ultimate Fortissimo is an air overdrive that is pretty fast, and most of the time it won't give time to the opponent to defend himself. By using the tiger knee motion, this move can also be used for a huge amount of damage near the corner, but most of the time you're gonna use it as an anti-air move or to finish off opponents in the air. Again, this move is safe on blocks, so don't worry if the opponent blocks it. As we said at the start, Ino is a mix-up machine and it's also easy to use. As long as you're not predictable, you can mix low and high attacks as you see fit and get easy combos all the time. Before charging onward, it's best to use a music note to cover yourself and from there decide what kind of mix-up you want to attempt. Tick throws, left-right mix-up with vertical chemical love and YRC, and high-low mix-ups are your main way to open up your opponent's defenses. And if you're particularly skilled, you can also add up the Kara cancel and really become a threat. Aside from that, it's all about how much random you can be. This time around, all combos that you'll see here are modifications of various challenges in the game. Most of them will start from the same string of normals, but you can change a number of them depending on how much you want to commit to them. With that said, let's start. The first combo is your main way to start your okizemi game. This second one is your most damaging mid-screen combo and can carry the opponent for a good chunk of the stage. With Red RC, you can extend this combo and it's guaranteed that you'll carry the opponent near the corner. This one is one of the many combos near the corner. From here, you can start your okizemi or reset the combo with the comment throw. This one converts an occasional jumping D into a corner combo. This one can be used to convert a vertical chemical love into a combo. While the one in the video starts from jumping D and vertical chemical love, You can still use the same combo after a wire-C vertical chemical lock. The concept is the same as the one before, just mind the timing of your Sultry performance, as it may vary depending on the height of your opponent. With 50% of tension, you can also put overdrives into the mix. However, they must be used in the early stage of a combo if possible, or they'll do minimal damage.